What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Obviously this is a different type of video that you're going to be seeing, because I'm basically doing like an overdub of what you're seeing. So basically it's going to be a bunch of random shit that you're going to see. I don't know yet what I'm going to record to go into it, but this is like my first official video like this. I've done second, because I did one before. It was like 20 something seconds of like talking because I wanted to record Nath. But this type of video I'm going to be doing a little bit more. I'm going to try and get people on. It's going to be like more of a podcasty video where I just sit and I talk about the first one's going to be about me. The second one I'm going to try and get people on, try and get basically do like a podcast sort of video. Try and get them on and ask people how we met, what was our first interactions of each other. Meanwhile, in the background, I'm just going to record a bunch of random stuff. Maybe add some pictures of the people that I'm with, obviously. But, obviously, first one, if you're new to this channel, my name is Sam. I am 22, openly gay, and disabled. I have a disability which is called hereditary motor sensory neuropathy. I didn't get diagnosed until I was 20. So I went 20 years basically not knowing what I had done, and kind of started at the beginning. So when I was born, obviously my mum kind of knew there was things a lot wrong with me than all my other siblings. And it wasn't until like she noticed that I couldn't crawl. So one day I'm trying to like crawl and I'm just like shifting around on my butt, which is funny because I kind of got back to that stage now where I have to shift my butt to get around. I'll get to that in later stages. Basically when I was younger I couldn't do most things that I wanted to do, like most of my other siblings. I couldn't excuse me. Feeding myself was more difficult. What was more difficult? Walking was another thing, but that incorporates with the disability, I guess. Walking does. But as I grew up, obviously I was in hospital quite a lot when I was younger, and it was around the age of 4, I believe. I had my first lot of surgery that I needed to have. So part of my disability is I get a constant migraine 24/7. So like today, obviously, I'd say the migraine's about 4, but later on it could be like an 8, depending on how much it influences or starts to vamp up. We don't know why it does it. What we do is because there's so much fluid. Sorry for contradicting myself. What we do is there's a build up of fluid on my brain, and every now and then that fluid like builds up way too much, and then it causes the migraine I have to increase really, really bad, or some days it's just really, really not that bad. Anyway, when I was 4, obviously I had to have my first lot of surgery, which was I had 2 lots of brain surgery, one when I was 4 and one when I was 6, I believe. Now the first lot, the surgeon I had, Chris Chandler, who works at, I hope he still works there, but he was working at King's College. I was in and out a lot, not really knowing what they was going to do. And then I had my first lot of brain surgery, and they put a metal plate, which is basically as like a big. It's pretty explanatory. They put it in the back of my head. So everyone, if you can feel the back of your head, at the back of your head, you have a bit of brain, yeah. Now they put a bit of, like just above that bit of brain that you've got at the back of your head that protects your head. Anyway, went on for a couple of months. I was still getting the headaches. In and out of hospital, wasn't really helping that much. So it wasn't until that I went back in and they realised that after a couple of months even they didn't realise that the metal plate had slipped and it had moved a portion of my brain, and they had to do, I think they had to do immediate surgery, because what happened was, the bit of the plate that was in my head was pushing onto my bit of brain that's at the back of your head, and it was pushing so much that if they did remove the bit of brain and the plate, I would have been paralyzed from when I was 4 or 5, maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to check with my mum on this. But obviously, I had my second lot of surgery, and what happened was they didn't necessarily believe that I was going to be able to come out of it, sort of thing. It was quite, push and shove for me to get through, but I've always been told that I'm a fighter, and in some retrospects, yes, I am, but in some retrospects, it's looking back on it, my life could have been so different if they didn't figure out what was wrong. But yeah, I kind of went through life, always been a little bit different. I have five other siblings, 3 of them I don't talk to, but the ones that are around me, my younger brother and my older brother, I grew up with them. If you've seen the videos before, you would have seen Nathan in the vlogs, the cinema vlogs that we've done. If you've seen my younger brother maybe once or twice when he was very, very young, from one of my very first videos, and then one of the zoo trip that we went on, he's in it for half a second. But they're my bros. I love them to pieces. But growing up with them, it was very different, because Nathan, I'll go into it a little bit more. My older brother Nathan, he has autism. So for some of you who don't know, he lived with us until he was about 6 or 7, and then after that, my mum kind of was not in the meanest way or nothing. It was just she couldn't handle having all of us and then him as well on top, which was substantiary because we were a handful lot. And then she decided to send him up to a school, and he went to one school, and then they got shut down, and then they went to another school in Doncaster, and that's where he stayed until he was 18. Now, obviously, I didn't have Nathan in my life for a very, very long time, but I had my younger brother. And my younger brother, I'm just going to put you over here for a minute while I get a drink. My younger brother, he's my rock. I love him to pieces. One sec. Oh, that's hot. There isn't a day that goes by that I would wish not to have my younger brother in my life. Because when we were younger, we did so many things together, and we did, because obviously when I was younger, I was in and out of hospital a lot. Obviously I've only spoken about one surgery, because I'm going to move on to the next part of the surgery in a minute. I want to talk about my family, obviously, how much they've supported me through the years. Mum obviously has been there through thick and thin, everything. Every hospital appointment, every surgery, everything. But my younger brother, obviously, he's been the one that's kind of as well as my mum, my younger brother's been the one that's been alright, you've had surgery, let's try and lead a life like everyone else, like him. Now, there were certain things I can't do, obviously, I couldn't play football that much, I couldn't run around, I'll explain more in a minute, but I was a goalie, so I was very good at my role with my brother, and he tried to include me in a lot of things. And I look back on it, and sometimes I'm the fuck did you do that for? And then I'm realizing, oh, he did it because he wanted me to be like him. He wanted me to be a part of what he was doing, and I love him for it. But obviously, growing up was very different because I had more surgery. Obviously, going back to the surgery part of things, after they did the brain surgery, the headaches were still there, kind of thing, and they weren't really going away. So what they did is they got a massive shunt, and this is basically a massive needle. And like I said, I get a build up of pressure on my brain, obviously. Now, the shunt that they put in, it went from my spine into my stomach, and it was working for a while. It was relieving the pressure, but then sometimes it would relieve not enough pressure or too much pressure, and it would just make me even more ill. Like, I spent a lot of time in the intensive care unit in King's College. Was it King's College? Was it? It was either King's College or Guy's. I think it was King's College because it was called the Lions Den. And, like, I was in and out of that fucking Lions Den all the time. I loved it. I say I loved it, but I didn't. It was very, very boring. And the thing was, like, there was one time I was in there and they said to me, oh, you can go to school. I had never been more excited to go to school. And all I did was I did a couple of things and I got to go on the computer for a while and I read Spot, the book. And it was stupid things, but that's the things I kind of got to, even though I was in hospital, I got to enjoy. But obviously after that, after a little while, the headaches kind of died down. Now, I had more of a normal kind of childhood. I'm trying not to use the word normal, because what is normal? You know, we'll get into that in another podcast. I wanted to live like a childhood where I could just do things and do other things, and I did for a while. And then I think I got to like 9 or 10, and that's when the disability started to kick in a little bit more with my legs. So part of my disability obviously is my legs. I've got a lot of weakness in my legs and in my hands. my hands obviously, like a few years ago I was able to hold cups. I was able to hold a spoon, a fork, a knife, everything. I was able to feed myself. I'll get into that in a minute, but I'm on about my legs in a moment. And like 9 or 10, I started to develop the problems with my legs. What happened was I was kind of walking around, obviously, and I was realizing, what's going on? And then one day I kind of woke up, and then I started to walk. My right leg just wasn't. It kind of went downhill a lot, and I started to walk on my tippy toes. Excuse me. I started to walk on my tippy toes, and as ridiculous as it sounds, for a good year, I was walking around like I shit myself. And that's why I was walking. Yeah, I was kind of walking like I shit myself all the time. And then I got to like. Where should I get to? I got to 11. It was 11 because I was going to my secondary school. I got to 11, and then after that, I kind of got in touch. We got in touch with like the medical team at St. Thomas's, and I can't remember his name. He was a nice doctor, but he just didn't really leave that well of a scar on my foot. He corrected it. Obviously, he said, like, he always says to people, like, it's not 100% accurate. He could go back. Excuse me. He could go back to how it was, and so far it hasn't from my right side. But there is a nasty scar in there that I wish he didn't leave, because it is really like, what he did is he left a screw in my foot to sort out the nerves, and unfortunately the screw's still in my foot. He goes, he was like, if you wanna ever get it sorted and sort out your nerves, obviously just ring us and we'll get it out. It's been 11 years since that surgery. That's mad. I just thought about it. It's been 11 years since that surgery. Wow. That's crazy. Anyway. I'm reminiscing on fucking surgery. Anyway, they kind of fixed my rifle, obviously. And then I hit 11. I started going to secondary school. And when I went to secondary school, I went to this special needs school called Marjorie McClure. It's in Chislehurst, Bromley. It's a decent school. I wouldn't say it's the best school. Anyone that goes to Marjorie knows this. Like, don't hate on me. It wasn't the best school. They treat you like a 5. You get amazing opportunities. Yes, I love the fact that we got to go to the Paralympics. We got to go to Twickenham and watch Saracens versus Harlequins. I'm a big rugby fan. They give you so many opportunities, obviously. And they give you so many opportunities to prove yourself in that school. But the one thing I disliked all through the school is that they didn't treat you like you should have been treated. Like, when we hit, I will talk about more of the surgery in a minute, but when we, I'm kind of going on a tangent here. When we got to, year 10, year 11, we thought, we're going to be treated with a little bit more respect and everything. No, you got treated like you're fucking still 5. Then you go into 6th form, and we called it FE at the time. I can't even know what it stands for. Anyway, we moved up to FE, and we're like, by that time you can wear your own clothes to school, and it was cool. Very cool. But it just wasn't cool. Excuse me, you're getting treated like you're 5. And you're not being treated with the respect that you should be given with at that age group. I know it's like a 2-way street. You give it, you get it back. But we were giving it, and we weren't really getting it back. But yeah, we kind of that's why in the few years I was in 6th form, I kind of just wasn't in 6th form, because I went to Marjorie McClure in the middle, and then either side is this mainstream school called Cooper's Technology College, and I went there for majority of my for some of my lessons, English, math, science, and then I got to year 10 and I started history as well. But I started it, so basically what happened was I was in year 8 in Marjorie, and then they said to me, do you want to do some other studies? I was like, great, yeah. And it was like, we're going to have to put you back a year. I was like, that's fine. So I went back a year to year 7 in Cooper's. So I was always a year behind and everything. But that was great, because I met one of my best friends, Maddie, and we had a bunch of laughs, obviously. It was a great opportunity for me to live a life. And I was living the best of both worlds. I was Hannah Montana in a sense, because I was with my friends at the special needs school, and I was with my friends at the mainstream school. So both ways, I was with great mates and everything. It was really, really fun. It was just really fun, and I loved the fact that I could do it. But yeah, I think I got to going back to the side, and I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna go back to the disabilities, the surgeries and that, and then go back to other things in my life. I believe this is what happened. Okay, so I think it was around 13 to 14, and I was in the playground with my mate, Adil. Great guy. I'll talk about my mates in a bit. I was in that, and Adil accidentally ran over my foot. Now, Adil's in an electric wheelchair, and it's heavy as fuck. He ran over my left foot, okay, and I couldn't move it. And then a couple of weeks later, I don't blame Adil for this or nothing, but because he didn't trigger it, we always knew something was going to go wrong. I took the piss for a while, saying it was his fault. But a little while after, my foot kind of went on the side, so I was walking on the side of it, and it was just like, oh shit, man, it's happening like it was my right foot. I was like, okay, and then we got on top of the surgery straight away, sort of thing. I had the surgery done. In the meantime of having the surgery done, my kneecap, so picture this, everyone. Everyone's got like a kneecap, yeah? And you've got joints that you go into. Everyone's got joints go into that thing and they slot into it. Mine was just flat. So for quite a long time after I had my foot surgery, after they corrected it, I was recovering, obviously, and while I was trying to recover, my knee, where there was nothing in place to lock onto, my knee, I did any type of exercise and my knee would dislocate and relocate really fast. It's as painful as it sounds. Like, I could do literally walking like 5 meters or something, or doing one jog, which I could never do. I would jog like a chicken. I'm gonna get a drink. Hold on. But yeah, I was like, I'm recovering from foot surgery, and then my knee started to play off, and I was like, I really don't need this, you know. Like, if something else could happen to me, it'd be great. But it didn't. I started to have these things where my legs would seize up so much, and it was like, dislocate really quick. And it happened on such a numerous amount of occasions. I had to get in touch with a knee specialist, and the specialist was like, alright, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take some of your ligaments from your leg, and we're gonna attach it to your kneecap. But if that doesn't work, we're gonna do keyhole surgery. And I can't remember the basis of the keyhole surgery, but I just remember it was very, very grim. And my mum was like against it, which I was like, okay, so it's really bad. But this is the funny thing, okay? When I met this consultant, okay, he was like, oh yeah, we're just gonna like touch it, and I touch it a little bit, like I'm just gonna do this and do that. He dislocated my knee when I was in there. Yeah, like a bitch. Anyway, this was the best thing about the whole thing again. I went in for knee surgery, had the knee surgery, I came out the same day. It was like, they said to me, it was like, if you can, my leg was in a brace, and it's like, I couldn't bend it or nothing, but I really didn't want to spend another day in the hospital, you know, I just wanted to go home. I had knee surgery, you know, I was in so much pain, and I didn't want to go home, and I didn't want to stay in the hospital, sorry. So, they were like to me, if you can transfer your body from your bed to the chair, then we'll let you go home. I was like, okay. Through gritted teeth, I did it. I literally put my leg and then put it on there. I was like, yeah, cool. Go back into bed, and then, and this happened when I was around 15, 16. Yeah, because I was having my GCSEs at that time. Yeah, this was the fucker. I'll get into that in a minute. But it was mad. Like, I basically proper hurt myself just to go home. But I went home, obviously. I took a little bit of time off school, obviously. And then I went back to school, saw my boys. And then I at this time, obviously, I was doing my GCSEs. But I was also trying to concentrate on healing. And in the process of trying to heal and do so much do my GCSEs at the same time, where I already had the foot surgery, and then I had the knee surgery, I think it was way too much for my leg to handle, and I don't think my foot fully healed properly, because unfortunately it has gone back to how it was. I am now walking on the side of my foot 24/7, but I have opted. There probably could be a chance for me to go back and have more surgery, unless. Let me tell you something, okay? I've had enough surgery in my lifetime. Unless I've got to have life-threatening surgery, I'm not having no more surgery. You know, I'm at the point now where I'll suffer with the pain. I don't want another thing that's gonna set me back in life and just to fuck me over again. So I'm okay. You know, it's cool. I don't want it. But anyway, yeah, I was doing my GCSEs at the time, and it was difficult. Because I was juggling trying to do physio and stuff like that, and then juggle it with GCSEs and learning what I needed to learn. But I got through it somehow. So basically my leg was in the cast for 12 weeks, 6 weeks, and then 12 weeks? No, 14 weeks. Because then it was in it for 6 weeks, and then I had for 8 weeks, and then I had another 6 weeks in it. But it was fun, and then I had it done, obviously. After the 6 weeks, they said, oh, you can bend your knee, and I thought, oh, great, I looked at my knee, I was like, oh, gross. And then I was like bending my knee, obviously. I was like, oh, I can be out of the cast, and the guy was like, yeah, and I was like, seriously, he's like, what did you say? I was like, can I be out of the cast? He was like, no. Your knee hasn't fully healed yet. I was like, man. Ooh. Sorry. My pop-up just came up on Netflix and said the new episode of Riverdale was out. I'm going to do some things on that soon. I'm going to give my thought on Riverdale. Oh, totally off topic. But yeah, like, he said to me, oh no, your knee hasn't fully healed yet, you got to keep it in the brace. For another 6 weeks, obviously, by this time I could actually bend it, so it was a little bit better, but for certain periods of time, while I was in class, obviously, I had my knee up, and it was painful to say the least. But I always had the support of my boys there. Let's go on to them. Let's talk about my boys. So you probably seen them in the video before. You've seen the Doe, you've seen Josh. I had Ahmed, I had Adil, and I had Alan. These are my main guys that, like, I met them all in, like, year 7. I met Josh in year 7. And I met kind of Alan, Ahmed, Nadal, all of them, like, not long after. And, we all kind of got a bond. We all stuck together, like, we was kind of like blood brothers in a sense. And even when we got to sixth form, we was all in the same group, and we loved it. Like, we were like, yeah, we're the rowdy kids. We did so many things that I could tell you so many things about them. Like, I want to get them all on the podcast one day, individually, and just talk about how we met, what our first impressions of each other were, talk about a couple of stories that we've had together. But I love them all individually, but I can't say who's my favourite, because I don't have a favourite with them. No, they've all there individually. They've all been there for me emotionally, physically, and just like, we've had our ups and downs with each other, and that happens in a friend group. But the main thing is you stick by one another to make sure that you can go, alright, we've had a bit of a falling out, and let's talk about it, and let's get through this shit, because this is what we're going to do together. And we've done that. I love them all. Like I say, I love them all. But yeah, that was kind of school. I kind of left school when I was 18? Yeah, So basically, I was meant to leave at 19, and I left the school at 18. And I was like, yeah, like I say, Marjorie wasn't the best school for influencing what was coming next. Like, if I didn't leave Marjorie McClure when I was 18, and I stayed another year, 1, I wouldn't have met so many amazing people, and 2, I would not be ready for what was going to hit me in the face. Because I went off to college, and I did health and social care. My initial thing, obviously, if you've been watching the channel for a long time, is to be a counsellor. When I applied, they said I could do it, but Bromley College are a-holes, and they don't let you do it until you're 21, which is fun. Anyway, I was doing that. I kind of like got rejected while I was at Marjorie. I was like, man, it was like a kick in the teeth, like, ha, you're not good enough, sort of thing. So I had to kind of reevaluate what I wanted to do, and I only had like 6 months to really want to know what I wanted to do before I left. And I was like, okay, cool. So I did it. I was like, what's the next best thing? That's literally what I said. I was like, what's the next best thing? And she was like, health and social care. And this was my tutor at the time, Jackie. And I was like, cool, I'll do that. And then I had to go and have an interview, obviously. And while I was having the interview, before we went, my tutor goes to me, what are you going to say? I said, do you want me to be truthful or not? I said, she was like, what are you going to say? I said, well, to be honest, I'm going to say I want to do this course so it can elevate me to the next platform. And she was like, oh, you can't say that. What the hell? This is what I want to do. Obviously, I want to learn stuff about health and social care, but I want to be able to use this to elevate me to the next platform. Because there are other things you can do with health and social care. You can do like go into childcare, stuff like that. You can become a nurse. There are so many opportunities. I just can't remember them all because it was like 4 years ago. But I did all that, obviously, and then I did like my year of college. The first 3 months, if you're going to college, be prepared. It was hell. The first 3 months, I'm sitting there and I'm like, what am I doing? Why? And this is where I kind of loop back in with like not really surgery, but with my disability a little bit more, because I was the only one in my class to have a disability. Everyone else was like they had no disability, obviously, and it was like, yeah. But I got through it. I kind of got over it. I was like, okay, it's gonna be a little bit awkward, but gotta get through it. So I did, and then after a little while, it just became natural for me to be like, alright, you're doing this, you're doing that. I'm gonna do this, and I did meet an amazing person while I was there. Unfortunately, we fell out over mutual things, but she was like my best friend in college. Unfortunately, we fell out not long ago, so I'm not gonna go into it. But she was the one that kept me going through college and everything, and if she does hear this at any point, hi. But hey, I'm not gonna apologize for what happened. I'm not even gonna go into it. Anyway, but yeah, we did college, and if you're gonna go to college, obviously, make sure you know what you're gonna get into. Make sure that your tutor, before you leave school, no one's gonna bullshit you on what's gonna happen. Because when I went, I was like, oh yeah, you're gonna be fine, and we're doing this and doing that. I believed everyone thought I was gonna be in the LSA department, which is downstairs in Bromley College, and you're kind of isolated away from people with non-disabilities. The only time you really interact with them is if you're walking around college, or in the common room, or if you go to the cafeteria, or if you go to the caf, which is right by the entrance, and you can get like a Starbucks or something. That was my main thing in college. I loved the Starbucks. I'd go in every morning and I'd go to the lady, you got my Starbucks? She's like, yeah, you got my money? I'm like, yeah. And that would be my pick me up for the day. I love her. But honest to God, don't let anyone bullshit you into thinking college is going to be easy, because it really, really isn't. Like I say, the first 3 months of college, I struggled like a mofo. The amount of assignments I got given, I was like... So basically, on a Friday, we would do this thing called e-learning. I can't hear my cat. My brother's cat. Let's see. Yep, okay. Go on. I need the door open. But yeah, what I say, like, we did this thing on a Friday called e-learning. Basically, e-learning was this thing that you could do like after school from 3 until 5. Take another drink, hold up. Oh, by the way, it's only coffee. Now, it was like, as I say, yeah, 3 probably 3:30 or 3:15 until 5 o'clock. And in that allotted time, if you had any overdue assignments, or if you had any assignments where you wanted to like catch up on like assignments that you finished, or just want to rerun through because you might not have an internet at home, which was my case obviously. I obviously had internet, but I couldn't print stuff off, so I would use that time to catch up on any assignments that I missed. And there's obviously, while I was doing the assignments, my headache started to come back a lot more, and I missed a little bit of time while I was there due to my headaches. But obviously, I had a 1-to-1, thankfully. And I say thankfully because she was my guardian angel. Her name was Terry. This is the thing again. I don't know if she still works there, but my tutor that was there, Angela, I love you. If you ever see this or ever hear this, I love you so much, because you, besides the girl that I was friends with, Angela gave me so much help. Same with Terry. Like, them two gave me so much help. Helped me get through college. Helped me get through that year, obviously. And obviously, I did health and social care as like a platform to get to the next level sort of thing. And I learned so much when I did it. I couldn't tell you anything now. I've forgotten it. It's terrible. But it was an amazing experience. Some people don't get to go to college, but I was thankful that I did. And I did college, and it was amazing. But my mistake was I went back a second year to do a second course. Again, wasn't counselling because I was only 20 at the time, I believe I was only 20. Was it 20? No, I was 19. And I went to when I was shit. Yeah, I did I went back and I did steps to employment. Now, imagine this, okay, you're going to steps to employment, and basically what's going to happen is you're going to get told that, oh yeah, you're going to be with people in your age group. By this time I was 19, yeah? You're going to be with people in your own age group, you're going to have fun, it's going to be like stuff that you've never learned before. I go in there and there's a 33-year-old, there's a 34-year-old, there is a 52-year-old, there is a 48-year-old, and then there's a 27-year-old. Yep. 19. Yeah, I have to admit, it was very scary at the time, and I'm just like, okay, cool. I don't want to do that again. Anyway, it was just like, I am a college dropout in a sense, because the stuff we were doing was so basic and so simple, and I just wasn't enjoying myself. You know, I just dropped out. And that's sad. It was sad that I had to drop out, because it gave me something to do anyway. And then after that, obviously, even the thing is, when I was doing my second lot of college, I had a lot of headaches still, and I kind of missed some time doing it. And then I went back, and I just wasn't enjoying the stuff I was doing, because it was mediocre. It wasn't challenging enough, you know. So I moved on in a sense. Now I hit 20, obviously, and by the time I hit 20, yeah. And like I said, I opened the thing up. I am 22 and I'm gay. Hey! No, I love this, because people go to me, really? Yes. And this is the thing. I've got a record for having girlfriends in the past. Now, I kind of knew when I was 16 that I was different. I didn't exactly know what it was. I just thought, okay, maybe bisexual. And then as years went on, I was like, definitely not bisexual. And I just like, I kind of ran with it. And I was like, alright, cool. I had this from my parents. And some of you are going to be like, why? Are your parents disapproving? I'm like, to be honest, no. My parents are like the best people in the world. I love them to bits. My whole family, like my mom, my dad, my two bros, they are my world. Without them, I'm fucked, you know? Like, my younger brother, he annoys me all the time, he punches me and everything, but that's just him showing love. My older brother, with the autism, goes on and on and on and on and on about shit, because he's autistic, and he goes on about going to the cinema, or he goes on about going, what he does every day, and everything, or the DVDs he's gonna get. And without that, I think I'd go insane. It's crazy because, like, I moan about it and I'm like, oh, Nathan, shut the fuck up. And he'll say, Nathan, shut the fuck up, because he loves me. That's our little thing. And I share a room with Nath, to be honest. Like, I've got such a close bond with him. And when I first came out, when I was 20, obviously I told my bro first. No, I didn't really tell my bro, I got someone to tell him. And he was like, okay. I was like, that was easier than I expected. And then what happened was I kind of texted my parents. I was like, Mom, Dad, I was like, Mom, I got something to tell you. She was like, okay. I was like, I'm gay. And she was like, and then she sent me this message, and I'll never forget it. I was like, she goes, no matter what, we know. Oh my god, we know. No matter what, we're always gonna fucking love you. No matter what you are. And then I just started crying because, like, it was one of those moments where I've kind of hid my identity for quite a long time, and I kind of dated women because I thought, no, I can't be, no, it's wrong, no. And not the fact that it was wrong for me to date guys, no. It was because of my moniker was, as I was growing up, I liked women. And then this sudden change in me was like, oh, you like guys. And to me, that was just like, you see, no, it can't be. So I kind of left it for quite a few years before obviously telling my parents, and I told them. And this is the scariest thing, okay? My dad, I love him to bits, but he was an asshole. Because I walked in the caravan. I was down my caravan when we told him. And I walked in the caravan, and I told my mum. My mum was, I came home a cuddle and everything. I walk in, my dad says nothing. Stone cold. And I'm like, okay. What the fuck? I loved it. Like, I went, and then my mum walks in and goes, yeah, he's good with that. I was like, oh my god. I just like took it. I was like, oh crap. And then after that, I didn't do anything with it. Like, I didn't tell many people, and then I hit 21, and then quite a few people knew, obviously, but then I decided, I was like, you know what, other people need to know this, so I made a coming out video. I think I told it, I'm gay, I'm disabled and I'm gay. I actually don't know what I told it. But I did the video. I was like, yeah, I'm 22, I'm hiding this for quite a long time, I'm 21 now, I'm gay, but I'm also disabled, and then I said what it was like for me trying out dating apps and everything, and the response I got back from it was like, so heartfelt and so warming, like, it was amazing. Like, I don't know why I hid it for so many years. So I had so many people, like, accepting of it, and I was always worried what other people were gonna think, and that's because when I was growing up, obviously, I had so many people thinking, oh, you're different because you've got a disability, or you're different because you're in a wheelchair, and I thought, oh, I don't want to add this to other people thinking, oh, you're different because you're gay. I know I shouldn't have thought like that, because I should have thought better of people. But it was scary for me, And then once I told people, it was like, okay, people know. But yeah, I ran with it. Obviously, I was like, woohoo, yay! And I had a couple of relationships, just didn't pan out, unfortunately. But I'm now 22, as I say. I'm 1 year older than I was when I told people I was gay. I basically for me, like, I struggle. When I think I was 21. Was I 21? Yeah, I was 21. We was on holiday. Let's go back to the side of the disability now. Probably gonna close it off with the disability. I was 21. I was down my caravan, and my, as I say, like, I told you about my legs. I'm gonna tell you about my hands now. Now, ever since I was younger, I could never really use my hands for things. I could always pick up a fork or pick up a glass or something, a glass or something like that, and I could always do things like that. But I could never really open a bag of crisps. I could never open a chocolate bar, considering the fucking size of me, Jesus. I'm a big guy, anyway. I'm a big guy. But my dad once said to me, he was like, if you can't open it, you can't have it. And that stuck with me for a long time. So then I developed, like, he's always been the one he and my mum have always been the one that pushed me to do things with myself, to move limits and do other things. Now, it wasn't until, like, he said that to me, I was like, alright, how the hell do I get this open? Because I was really hungry and I really, really wanted that. It was a bag of crisps. Oh. And what I did was, he goes to me, alright, how are you going to open it? And it took me a little while. I thought maybe pop in there. I was like, no, because then they'll go everywhere. And then what I did, I devised a strategy that I would open my bag of crisps with my hands on one side of the bag and then use my teeth on the other side. And that's what I did. And then I started doing it with chocolate and bottles. I used to use, I still do, I use my teeth to open bottles and stuff. Up until I was 21, I could do most of them things, as well as holding a glass, holding cutlery, holding, I don't know, I can hold a hot cup of tea or a hot cup of coffee, And then one day, it's just like my hands gave up on me, and I ain't gonna lie, I broke down. That was like someone gave me £1 million and then just snatched it away. Because once you lose something of yourself, it kind of kills you inside, because you can no longer do that thing. And then while we was on holiday, for the rest of the holiday, I had to be fed. I had to be given cups and drinks with a straw, hot cup of coffee with a straw. I couldn't pick up a cup anymore. And then as the year went on, obviously it just got worse and worse. Holding things became like a nightmare. Pushing my manual wheelchair became a nightmare. And then my legs kind of was phasing on me as well. So I just felt I was going downhill. And at this time I had a PA, Barry, love you Barry. But unfortunately Barry had problems of his own, and he kind of had to leave me and everything and go like sort his life out. I kind of got into a rut. I got into a serious rut for 6 months, living in the same 6 walls I'm in now. 6 walls? I'm an idiot. 4 walls. I'm an idiot, swear to God. I was in this room just like every day for 6 months. Doing the same shit over and over again. And then what happened was I kind of got my opportunity given to me to be able to do what I wanted to do again. We got in contact with the wheelchair services. I said, listen, I need an electric wheelchair. So they come out, they assessed me and everything, they felt my hands, they saw what I couldn't do anymore, and they was like, yeah, okay. And then I got given my electric wheelchair. I had to obviously pass the test before you can get given it. I passed the test with flying colours, and then that gave me a new bridge of life. I'm not gonna lie, if I didn't have my electric wheelchair, I would still be sitting in these same four walls, not knowing what I'd be wanting to do. Probably would not even become a counsellor. So after a while, I just got used to the fact of, alright, cool, I'm in these walls. And then one day, Mum comes up and goes, alright, I need you to go to Sainsbury's for me. And I was like, how am I meant to do that? And she was like, with your electric wheelchair, dumbass. I was like, okay. So I got in my wheelchair and I just started driving. And for the first time, I felt free. And I know that sounds cheesy, but it was like I was locked inside these four walls, and I was just like, nah, back to the cell. Like I would eat food and then I'd go back to my room, and it felt like I was locking the door every time. And then when I was out of my chair, I was just like, fuck, this is cool. And then after that, for a little while, it was like I got to do more and more things. I kind of got my first interaction, obviously, when I went out. Obviously, I did get followed by a security guard, and it did upset me because I was in a bad place anyway. And because I'm in a wheelchair and because I had a bag on, because I have a JD bag that I carry around with me, like to get me from A to B, and it wasn't good. Like the first time I go out, I get followed by a security guard. I'm like, really? And I came back, I was a mess. Like, what the fuck? Like, I've been followed by security guards before, but I've just been spent 6 months in a rut, man. You can't give me a break. But I came home, my mum flipped out, she rang the fucking store, and since then they've been good. But yeah, my chair kind of gave me a sense of freedom, and where I lost my hands, obviously, the chair kind of gave me that sense of freedom back, because I can use my hands for something that I couldn't do, like feed myself or something like that. And I had to accept. Over time, I learned to accept it. Obviously, it was very much a kick in the balls when my hands got taken away from me. But once I realized it was for the greater good, because they always say karma can be a good thing or it could be a bad thing. And once I lost my hands, I thought, well, what could go right now? And then obviously I got an electric wheelchair, and it was such an amazing thing that happened. So yeah, that was great. And then obviously I met my older PA. Went for a good period with him. We just parted though because of things that went wrong. Yeah, this year's been whole Monaco up until 122, this whole year, it's been kind of an up and down ride. Like, I'm going back to my headaches, obviously, they're never going to go, and something that I have done to kind of prevent them from being as bad. Obviously, you can take tablets, but if you take tablets for too long, you're going to become addicted to the tablets, and it's just like, I don't want to do that, which is cool. So they suggested that I have injections in the back of my head, and some of you that are probably listening now, you're like, oh fuck, that's got hurt. Yep. It really does hurt, but it's like a nice injection first, which is my right side, and then my left side is, I don't know why, but my left side always hurts worse. But I had it done. I had them done every 3 months when they were doing just a normal injection. I can't think what they're called. The nerve block injections. I had them done for quite a while, maybe 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times, and then they became disparate and weren't working anymore. So I moved on to these Botox ones, And the Botox ones they were 36 injections, but they were small injections, starting from the back of my head, going around to my forehead. I had them once and they didn't work at all. So we dropped them in a second, went back to the nerve block, and then I moved on to these other ones, which I had to go down to theatre for. Which was a bummer, because it was annoying. It was very, very annoying for me, because when you go down to theatre anytime, you can't eat. So for this whole procedure, I went there like 9 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't go down till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So you're like, oh, I want to eat, but I can't. But yeah, I had these injections where they go into the back of my head and they give me an electrical pulse with it. And they worked once, but then the second time they did it, obviously, the first time I did it, they worked for quite a long time. 6, maybe 7 months. And then after that, they just forgot about me in a sense. They was like, oh, we rang you. No, you fucking didn't. I'm in pain. Trust me, you didn't ring me. I would have fucking picked up. But I went back for the second one, and on the back of my head, obviously, where I've had the 2 lots of brain surgery, I have a scar in the middle of it, and they put the injection right on the scar, basically, and I came out of there feeling a little bit more woozy than I did the first time, and I stayed in recovery for about half an hour, and I went back to the room. I was like, I need to eat something. It might have just been where I didn't eat, but I ate something. I still felt woozy, and then I could normally after about a week, I can normally tell, or maybe 2 weeks, I can tell if the injections are working or not, because I don't have a headache. Or I have a headache and all that's just not as bad, and that's understandable. But these ones were just like, it didn't work. I could tell from the get-go, not working at all. So we waited a little bit longer. My mum was forever getting back in contact with the people, and then finally they rang. I picked up the phone, obviously, just because I did. It was the house phone. I was like, okay, cool, I'll pick up. And luckily it was the lady that was gonna. She was like, oh, hi, it's Maddie. And I'm like, hi, Maddie. And then she was like, how's the injection? I was like, you know what, this one didn't work this time. And I told her, I think it was because I did it too close to my scar. And she was like, okay, do you want me to go back to the nerve block? I was like, yeah, please. So, what was it? Last Monday? Yeah, last Monday, I had the nerve block injection. Was it last Monday? Yeah, it was last Monday. Yep. Last Monday, I had the nerve block injection in my head. So it's been over a week now. It's taken its time to kick in a little bit, I think, because I'm still getting the niggly headaches, and they're around a 6 or a 7 still. When they go down to like a 4 or a 5, that's when we know they're kicking in. But like I say, it takes a week or maybe 2 weeks for them to kick in really good. But look, I'm never going to be rid of these headaches. It's going to be a part of my life forever. It's just like it is with my hands. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to live with it. And one day, they have told me that I'm going to wake up and I'm not going to be able to feel my legs. So, it's a real kicker, but you know what? At this point in my life, fuck yeah, I'm ready. Some of you be like, what the fuck, how? I've lived my life to the fullest, and at the moment, I may sound like I'm going backwards with my life, but I'm not, trust me. There are so many more things I want to do with my legs, but there are so many things that I can't do, unfortunately, because I know that I can't do it with standing with my legs. Which is like a bummer. It's a bummer, but it's something that I've had to accept, like I was with my hands. And if there's anyone out there that is listening to this, and you have a disability or something, fair fucking play. You've all lived your life to the fullest. You're living your life to the fullest. No matter what, you're all fucking heroes in my eyes. Anyone that gets up every day and goes, alright, let's live today. you know? Or maybe anyone dealing with, like, mental health issues or anything like that. You are all legends and heroes in my eyes. Anyone dealing with any problems, you know? Physically, mentally, whatever. Anyone that's dealing with that, emotionally, whatever, physically, you are all heroes. I commend you all. You may say, like, oh my god, you go through some shit. Yeah, I do. But there are countless other people out there that have got a lot worse shit than me. And if I was to bitch and moan about what I've got wrong with me, I would look like the biggest prick. Because yeah, I got bad hands. Yeah, I got bad legs. There are people out there with no hands, with no legs, that can't talk, that have to use sign language, that can't hear us. And there are people that are on the street who live in the homeless. And I'm gonna do a podcast on that one day. Not yet, but very, very soon. But it's just, there are so many other people out there that have so much wrong with them that I look at my life and I'm like, I'm lucky. You know, I'm lucky I'm not in their position. You know? But people always say, and then people go to me, oh, would you change your disability? Fuck no! This disability made me who I am. It brought me it brought me my family, it brought me the friends in my life. I would not change my disability for the world. I am who I am because of this disability. Yeah, it's a fucker at times, and yeah, sometimes I break down crying because I'm like, I really want to do this. Like, I look at my brother and I'm like, I envy you, bitch. Like, I want to do what you do. Like, he can do so many more things I can do. And then I just look at it and I'm like, you know what? One day maybe I will. Maybe I won't. But you know what? That's the beauty of life. You never know. Don't worry, I'm just tapping my foot because my foot's all numb. That's the beauty of life. Like, you could be a million fucking but have no friends. Or you could be like someone like myself and have the most wonderful people around you who support you and treat you no different like to no one else and fuck about you, call you names, whatever, and love you the same as well if you had as well as you was a millionaire. Right now, that's what I would take, because that's all I need in my life. I need people who are going to surround them with me with positive vibes, who is going to go to me, right, okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do today. You're going to come with, and I'm not going to do it. That has been my podcast on basically my life. 1 hour and 3 minutes and counting. Fuck, I can talk. Anyway, guys, I don't know when this is gonna go out, but when it does go out, I hope you do enjoy the video. I hope you smash the like button on it. I will be doing this a lot more regularly now that I know how to do it, and I'm just gonna talk about anything and everything, something that I'll be passionate about. I'll try and get my friends on, obviously, talk to them how we met. I might even try and get a couple of family members on. But yeah, I hope you like this. If you want me to talk about anything Pacific, I think that's the word. Specific. That's the one. Specific. Not Pacific. Specific. Just tell me and I'll talk about it. Thank you. If you've listened until the end, thank you very much. I will see you all in the next one.